Good afternoon. Sorry that I will be speaking in Australian and not Spanish, so hopefully people will be able to keep up with me. So as it was introduced, today I'm going to talk to you about the ripple effect of economically empowering women and why 5 by 20, which I will explain, as an initiative is so important to us. But let me start with some key facts to just help set the stage. However you choose to define it, through whichever lens you look, women are an emergent global force. We have always known that women are the pillars of society, and as individuals in their own right, as mothers, sisters, wives, partners. But we've also learned that they have access to that they need to have access to the level of support that will allow them to be extraordinary economic multipliers, both at a community level and as an essential part of building thriving communities. And collectively, they really are an economic force. For example, women represent a growth market 2 times the size of India and China combined globally, and they control over $20 trillion in spending. We also know that women are vital components to the global workforce, doing an estimated 66% of the global work. And yet, they earn only 10% of the world's income. And as we have learned through the development community, the return on investment in women is significant. From a business point of view, it's incredibly powerful, especially for a business like ours, which is more local and more global than I think any other organisation. We may be a global company, but we are a local business. We source locally, we find and develop our talent locally, and we live and work in the communities in which we live. So we have both a personal and a business interest in creating thriving communities, not only for our business, but actually for the communities that we all live in as part of the Coca-Cola family. And we know the two go hand in hand. Women are not only essential to building these thriving communities, but we also truly believe they represent one of the biggest accelerators to economic development globally. In some countries, we're finding that over 70% or more of our small business partners are women. For example, 86% of the small, what they call sari-sari store owners, so the mum and pop shops in the Philippines, are owned or managed by women. Whereas in Egypt, for example, as a point of contrast, that figure is only 10%. In Europe and North America, so clearly developed markets, we're learning that that figure is closer to 30%. So the diversity of what drives our programs has to be decided at a local level. We also have to deal, for example, with cultural differences. As we implement programs in India, for example, with our small store owners there, often the husbands either have to be part of the training or have taken the training in advance to approve for their wife to join the training. So we set ourselves an ambitious target in 2012 or 2010. That is to enable the economic empowerment of 5 million women entrepreneurs across our value chain by 2020. And the connection to our value chain for us was a really important component of ensuring the sustainability of the initiative, that it would survive changes in organisation structure because it's built into our business versus it being purely philanthropic. So as we seek to empower,
buscamos empoderar, vemos todos los diferentes componentes de la cadena de valor y eso significa desde las cuestiones agricultura, de la
artisans who make beautiful items with our recycled material. So let me briefly describe each of the key elements of our global value chain to give you an additional context for the different kinds of small businesses that we have the opportunity to work with in over 200 countries and territories around the world. So, for example, we work with small-scale farmers who grow mangoes in Africa and India, or other fruits that we use in our juices. Suppliers of everything from packaging to paper clips, so they're our suppliers. Our small distributors that deliver to our retail customers in some of the remotest areas of the world. Our retail customers, a key part of our distribution or our network, or those little shopkeepers who help sell our products to consumers. And then obviously once the consumer has enjoyed our beverage and we have people who will then collect our used packages, and we help those recyclers set up businesses and safe businesses and what they look like. And then at the end of the chain is the enterprising artisans who take our used beverage packaging, our labels, our caps, and make beautiful pieces of artwork with them, either jewellery, lampshades, very creative initiatives. So what we've learned is that women across our value chain still face unique and significant barriers to success every single day. Through the research that we've done with our partners at Harvard and the International Development Corporation, we learned that women across our value chain are challenged by 3 key areas: lack of access to business building skills, lack of access to financial services or assets, and the last one, which is really important, and I think any woman in the room will understand, lack of access to peer networks and mentors. So people that she can talk about the struggles she's facing, share her successes, and understand what might be common or different for her. So this is where we're investing with 5x20. It is to break down these barriers and enable these women to achieve. So in Argentina, we have 2 initiatives which are focused on retailers: the Coca-Cola Business School and Women Leading the Change. Both initiatives are oriented to developing business skills in the traditional channels: kiosks, mum and pop shops, and self-service shops. We are currently developing other initiatives in Argentina that will involve recyclers and artisans. So where are we at? So by the end of last year, in our 5x20 initiative, we had enabled the economic empowerment of 1.2 million women across 660 countries. It's a long way to go in a short period of time to get to 5 million. And as we've been learning across each of the different countries, each country is unique, but as much as possible we try to take the scale, the learnings, and leverage them into other countries. We're now at a point where we need scale and to be able to replicate these programs quickly if we're to achieve 5 million by 2020. But we're not doing this on our own, and I think that's a really important point to make. We have many global and regional partnerships that allow us to do this. All of us bring different and valuable skills to the table, and we know we cannot address these issues or scale for the impact that we need without the help of others. We must work together with our partners to bring 5x20 to life and to reach that 5 million target that we have set ourselves for 2020. But with our partners, we're all building on our best practice, we're learning from our mistakes, we're learning from others, we're encouraging innovation, and we're going to scale and replicate where we can. We're obviously very proud to be partnering with organisations such as UN Women, TechnoServe, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and there are many others, and a lot of very local organisations. We look forward to building these partnerships and creating new ones. But before I close, I would like to share with you a video which highlights to us the ripple effect of economically empowering women and the impact these women have on their local communities and on future generations, particularly as they improve their lives and their families' lives.
Quando eu era criança, eu tinha muito ser alguém.
Nung maliit pa po ako, pangarap ko pong makapagtayo ng business talaga. చిన్నప్పుడు నేను చదువుకోలేదు. ఇప్పుడు నా ఇద్దరు పిల్లలకు చదువు చెప్పించుకోగలుగుతున్నాను.
I think it's important for women to collaborate.
Trabalhar junto, teremos mais produção e ganharemos mais.
Thank you. As a final note, on a personal note, I've met a lot of these women, and as a mother myself, the impact that we have through programs like these with the partners that we have, and you watch the impact on their local community because their businesses grow, they hire more women, and the ripple effect of that. But to me, the most powerful component of these programs is the impact it has on their children, their sons and their daughters. Thank you.